Hello, 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 my amigos. Welcome, one. Welcome, all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name, and it's your favorite day of the week. It's our favorite day of the week, unless you work on weekends, which I still work on weekends, but I used to work the most on weekends. Why? Well, as many of you know, when I was living in New York, I was a starving artist, as they call us, right? Somebody who's always looking for work as an artist. Translation, server, bartender. When somebody says, "Oh, I'm an actor," you know what the first question they ask you is? What restaurant are you working at? Well, restaurants, it's a very flexible job in general in the United States. You can make cash on the fly, rapidísimo, which is a good word. We'll start off with that expression. Well, wait, let's start off where we have to start off, where we always start off with our liftoff.
T-minus
10,
9,
9, 8,
7,
7.
6,
You know the rest. Come
5,
on.
4,
Count down with
3,
me.
2, 1,
Here we go.
0,
Hold on tight.
ignition, liftoff, 30 minutes after the hour.
Here we go.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name. It's the show. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, amigos. What an exciting show we've got in store for you today. We're going to go to the movies. We're going to take a look at music. We're going to learn some idiomatic expressions. We're going to work on structure/grammar. We're going to work on pronunciation. We're going to work on all kinds of interesting stuff. And I'm going to challenge you, as I always do. You can expect many challenges all throughout the show today and every day. And by the way, even if you can't participate live, if you can, great. Join us live. Join us in the chat room every day, every Monday through Friday, every weekday. We're there giving it 110%. But if you can't, you can listen whenever you want. Just download the Vaughn Radio app and you can listen to us wherever you want. Also, you can listen to us via podcast. This is a way that even if you've got a doctor's appointment or you have to run some errands, or to do some errands, es hacer unos recados. And by the way, if you're noticing, a lot of times during the show, if you're watching the live stream, I jot things down, apunto cosas. And why? Well, it's because I like to make little videos of idiomatic expressions, false friends, homophones, pronunciation tweaks, anything that I think is interesting and that I can teach in under 30 seconds. So that said, if you are not following on social media, follow Vaughn, and that will help you a lot with not just your English, but with our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right. It is our pop quiz only on the show with no name. Again, follow Vaughn, follow my buddies here at Vaughn Radio, and follow me. I mean, I'm just looking right now. I've got my Instagram open. Okay. And I use them all. I use Twitter, I use Instagram. I guess Facebook is the one I use the least, but I try and post everything everywhere. Obviously, I use YouTube on a daily basis. But if you want little quizzes, little challenges, and little videos, I think the best thing to do is go over to Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook and follow along. And if you go to my Instagram, which is Alberto_Alonso, let's review some of this vocabulary. So, guión bajo, I just said it, underscore. Okay, arroba, at, right? The preposition at, barra, slash, barra al revés, backslash, barra normal, ¿no? Si tenemos guión bajo, barra normal, dash, or guión, maybe you call it, dash. So there's a whole language that comes from this internet, this technology that we're living in now, this technology bubble, I feel like it is. Now, Instagram, if you go over to the top, you've got highlights. And since I turned 35, I have really made a promise to myself, he prometido a mí mismo, that I would be more organized. And it's tough, believe me. It's taken a lot out of me to be organized. I want to be, and I try to be, and even trying to be, I forget things. I don't write things down. I miss things. Oh, Alberto, we had a call to, oh, damn it. So this is me being organized. And lucky enough for you guys, on my Instagram, I've organized everything. So all my posts and stories, you can find them depending on, let's say you feel like doing some quizzes. Let's just click on this over here, quizzes. And it'll give you, let me see how many here. It's not opening up. Quizzes. So Lara is wearing the cap y mi hija tiene la gorra al revés. Lara is wearing the cap. Now, this is not the pop quiz. I'm just giving you guys an idea of how much content you can get and how to explore it, how to make the most of it. So let's say you're looking for a challenge, okay? Semana Santa or whatever, we don't have live shows. You're looking for a challenge. You've already listened to all the podcasts 20 times. You can go over and you can search. At least I know in my Instagram, they're called highlights. You can search. So quizzes. Lara's wearing the cap A, inside out, B, upside down, or C, backwards. Lo tiene al revés. The correct answer is backwards. And if you click on the next story, it circles backwards. So you'll always see the answers to all these quizzes. Inside out, al revés, como una camiseta. Upside down, como una montaña rusa. And backwards, andar al revés, poner la gorra al revés. So they all mean al revés. Let's see another one over here. Let's see. Drastic times call for drastic measures. I don't know if you know this expression. And then I put a picture of me with some flip-flops on and some socks, like a true guiri, como guiri auténtico. And I said, my socks don't A, mingle, my socks don't match, or my socks don't make game. I hope you didn't put hacer juego, make game. The correct one is to match, hacer juego. To mingle is a good word, too. To mingle is you're sitting at a party, and you're sitting there with your friends and you're not really being social. You say, hey, man, come on, let's mingle. Vamos a mezclar. Great one to know. Let's take a look at another one. This one is a pronunciation one. Let me see. This one's a preposition. Okay, the next one. Let me see. I've got a few over here. I just don't want to make it too easy. Okay, I get up at the crack of A, morn, B, dawn, or C, down. The correct answer is B, dawn, dawn, el amanecer. But morn is a word. It's another way of saying morning, right? Morning, morn. It's an early morn. Also, morn, si le añadimos una U, es estar de luto. So these are just the quizzes. I've got tons of quizzes. Then you can go over, you can click on idioms. I haven't the foggiest. No tengo ni la más remota. I haven't the foggiest. Too cool for school. Más chulo que un ocho. Every cloud has a silver lining. No hay mal que por bien no venga. Again, this is all in my Instagram. Another one. He bit off more than he could chew. Abarcó demasiado. Literalmente mordió más de lo que pudo masticar. Again, all of this is available on my Instagram. Go over to Instagram and you can search for quizzes, idioms, pronunciation, collaborations, nature, social media stuff, false friends, Almeria common mistakes, funny stuff, podcast stuff, vocab, worksheets, tips. I mean, you've got it all. You've got tons of content. I think I've been on social media for way over 10 years now, maybe even more. And I've been posting consistently. And all that content is still there, just waiting to be discovered. So make sure you guys are following me, make sure you're following Vaughn, and make sure you're following my buddies at Vaughn Radio. Now, let's take a look at this post that comes from Grupo Vaughn. Remember, if you want to go to our website, it's grupovaughn.com. You can get all the information you'll need on all our courses, special deals, upcoming events like our trivia nights, right? If you want to know what's going on in the Vaughn world, go to our website, grupovaughn.com. Follow us on social media. And also now, if you're a student of ours, you can join our Vaughn portal, our student portal. All that you can find on the website. If you're looking for some materials, you can go over to vaughntienda.com. All right, I want you guys to do this with me. This is Vaughn's level test. Alberto, you didn't tell us there was going to be a level test today. Well, it's a pop quiz. It's sorpresa, no? Examen sorpresa. You never know. You know we do the section. That's it. All right. What you guys can do is you can answer separately because there are a lot of them. And as with any level test, I know I've done thousands of them here at Vaughn and also on my own. As with any level test, it starts out easy, just like life, right? Things are pretty easy, and then they get complicated as we, oh my God, I gotta do this. I gotta get my mortgage. Things get complicated, right? I remember it just from high school, from grade school to high school. You're like, whoa, we're not in Kansas anymore. Hablando de expresiones nativos. We're not in Kansas anymore. Todo viene del Mago de Oz. All right, first one is a giveaway. Regalado. Es un coche rojo. I feel like I shouldn't even give you the options. It's a red car, is a red car, or it's a car red. Obviously, we're going to click on the first one, and it's a red car. 3%. We're right. Let's continue. Here's the translation. El que está aquí es el mío. El que está aquí es el mío. See, now we've already put in some possessives in there, some pronouns. Ooh, not as easy anymore. And they're just going to get harder. Here we go. I'll give you 3 options. You got 3 options here on the Vaughn level test. You can do this on your own, but we'll do it right now too. Here in the group, you guys can comment. So, el que está aquí es el mío. Is it A, the one here is mine? Y no me digas ABC, por favor. Escríbelo, así lo practicas y lo dices en voz alta. The one here is mine. That what is here is mine. Si no me lo he podido ni decir. So, no es esa. The one that's here is the mine. The one that's here is the mine is C. We've already ruled out B. That what is here is mine. It doesn't sound right. And A, the one here is mine. Did you say A? I see a lot of people who said A and a lot of people who got the first one right. Nice job. Fantastic job. All right. Dale a play. Oh, no. ¿Cómo se traduce al castellano lo que has oído? I don't know if it's going to play it, though. All right, we're going to skip that one because we got to listen to it. But hey, you can do these on your own, as I said. This is over at grupovaughn.com/test dash. Menos mal que hemos repasado esto. So, grupovaughn.com.com//test dash el guión nivel dash inglés slash. Hey, it sounds like a rap song, doesn't it? And you can find this. All right, this one's easy. Escucha esta canción. You guys better not make a mistake with this one. No way. Listen to this song. B, listen this song. Or C, you listen to this song. We looked at this yesterday. You should know this one. Did you say A? I'm going to click on A. Oh, there's another one that we have to listen to. All right, no problem. We'll skip it. Lo saltamos. Okay, the next one is pienso hacerlo después. Pienso hacerlo después. In fact, I'm not going to give you the options here. What would you say? Pienso hacerlo después. All right. Are you saying I think to do it later? Oh, no, please, no. I've heard that mistake a lot of times. I'm thinking to do. No, no, no. Write it down and cross it out. Toma phrasal verbs. Apúntalo y táchalo. Write it down and cross it out. We don't say I'm thinking to do or I think to do. So, I plan to do it later. Nice job. A lot of people got it. Pienso hacerlo luego. This one's pretty easy. You guys should be getting these all right. A lot of people are doing a great job here. Keep up with us. The next one's creo que sí. How would you say that? Creo que sí. I'm not going to give you the options because you guys are too good. Creo que sí. I think that yes. No me jodas. Don't ever say I think that yes. Porque no es. All right, what if I give you the negative? Creo que no. I don't think so. Maybe you can figure it out there. Va a ser que no o creo que no is I don't think so. Did you say I think so? All right. I think so. Are we going to do a spelling bee today? Oh, yeah. I think so. I know so. También se puede decir, I know so. Estoy seguro. I think so and I don't think so. You need to know these. We use them all the time. Okay. Me siento mal. Me siento mal. Esto es más como culpable. No digo mal como estoy malo. Me siento mal por lo que dije, por ejemplo. Did you say, I feel bad? That's right. I feel bad about what I said. Just be careful. I've heard this mistake made the other way. Entonces, alguien me dice, I said, hey, why didn't you come to class yesterday? We missed you. And the student says, oh man, I woke up and I felt bad. Feel, felt. No lo confundamos con fall, fell, fallen. Well, if you tell me you feel bad or you felt bad, te sentiste culpable. No, un poco de pena. I felt bad about the situation. What we would say, si no nos encontramos bien físicamente, we would say, I don't feel well, or I don't feel good. Técnicamente es well, pero muchos decimos good. Pero la que no decimos es el que te acabo de decir. We don't say, I feel bad, cuando nos sentimos mal físicamente. Solo cuando nos sentimos mal, no tenía que haber hecho that. When we regret something, we say, I feel bad. I feel bad. Or you can say, if you want to say enfermo, I feel sick, or I don't feel well, or I don't feel good, técnicamente incorrecto. But we don't say I feel bad, because then it's confusing. I've had students say it many, many times. Okay, yo soy tan viejo como tú. This is our next pop quiz, Vaughn level test challenge. Yo soy tan viejo como tú. Ooh, it's getting a little bit more complicated. Did you say I'm so old as you? Nope. It's not I'm so old as you. Okay, is it I'm as old like you? No, tampoco. It's not I'm so old as you or I'm as old like you. No. It's I'm as old as. Muy fácil esta. Acuérdate, as, adjetivo, as. Are you as tall as Pau Gasol? Are you as rich as Jeff Bezos? Are you as old as your mother? I doubt it. So it's, y ojo, algunos dicen as older, as taller. No es el comparativo. Es el adjetivo puro. A lot of people make mistakes here, guys. Make sure you're not one of them. So I'm as old as you. The next one is a listening one. So we'll skip it. Se tarda 2 horas. Would you say it lasts 2 hours? Eso es correcto, pero es otra frase. Eso es dura. So, a football match or a football game, se puede decir los dos, lasts. Ese TS es difícil, pero piénsalo, con el beat más fácil. Lasts. We ran out of beat there. I guess I was supposed to take over. All right, we brought our beat back. Let's bring it back. It lasts. But it's not lasts. Lasts es durar. Yo he dicho tardar. Se tarda 2 horas. Más o menos. It takes approximately 2 hours. It takes about 2 hours. It takes around 2 hours. It takes an hour-ish or 2 hours-ish. Ish es también alrededor. Here's another one. Ooh, this one's tough. Now we're really up in the ante here. No sé por qué quieres que lo haga. No sé por qué quieres que lo haga. I don't know why you want me to do it. No, you want that I. Eso es español. Eso es el error. He wants that you. No, he wants you to. Muy fácil acordarte de esto. I want to be happy. I want Lara to be happy. Solo hay que cambiar eso. No es I want that you. No. Piénsalo así. Siempre ponte en el ejemplo y luego pon otra persona. I want to go to the movies. I want Lara to go to the movies. Lo único que estamos añadiendo es la persona que queremos que lo haga. Pero no con un to. I want that you to. No, el to sí que se pone. Es el that que no se pone. So just be careful. So no sé por qué quieres que lo haga. I don't know why you want me to do it. That was a really tough one, huh? Y no usa auxiliar. Okay, here's one. Seems easy, but a lot of students make mistakes here. ¿De quién son los coches? Yo le he puesto en plural. ¿De quién son los coches? I see you guys are doing a wonderful job, by the way. Keep it up now. Keep it up. ¿De quién son, perdona, los coches? Whose cars are they? Whose cars are they? Not whose are the cars are they? It's whose cars are they? The next one. ¿Por qué no me dijiste nada? Pregunta negativa. ¿Dijiste why you didn't? No. Why didn't you? Why haven't you? Why shouldn't you? Con todas las preguntas negativas, va en el mismo sitio. Why did you go? Why didn't you go? El error, muchos dicen, why you didn't? No. Why didn't you? So, ¿por qué no me dijiste nada? Why didn't you tell me anything? ¿Y por qué no he usado say? ¿Por qué no hemos puesto el mensaje? Aquí lo importante es a mí. En ese caso usamos tell. Why didn't you say something? ¿Ves? Ahí no decimos a quién. Se puede decir to me, pero entonces ya sería más fácil. Why didn't you tell me? En vez de why didn't you say it to me? ¿Ves? So the question is, do we need to know who is receiving your word? Or is it more important? I said I'm not going to go. I told her I'm not going to go. Ahora el her es importante. Usamos el tell. All right? Why didn't you tell me anything? And the last one, and you guys are doing a wonderful job. Déjame hacerte una pregunta. Let me to ask you a question. Does that sound right? No. Nunca empleamos el tú. Con allow, sí. Allow me to ask you a question. Suena mucho más formal. But we would say, let me ask you a question. Let me, sin tú. Guys, we have to go to a quick commercial break over here. I can't believe it. Time is just flying by on today's show. We'll be right back with the second part of today's show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. We were just doing the Vaughn level test. Remember, if you want to do it on your own, go over to grupovaughn.com and you can find it. grupovaughn.com/test-nivel-inglés/ y de paso practicamos this internet vocabulary that we need to know. I remember one of the reasons I started doing the spelling bee here on this show was because a lot of my students, I would say, give me your email address. And they would say it, I say, well, spell it for me. Deletréamelo. And I heard everything except what I wanted to hear. And then I realized, whoa, people have difficulty with letters. And, well, these symbols that we use now, arroba, we never used that when I was a kid. We never used at. It wasn't a thing. And now, can you imagine your life without an at? By the way, I'm at Alberto_Alonso on Instagram. On Twitter, I'm Alberto Alonso. I just look around. You'll find me. And make sure you follow Vaughn as well. And this way you can learn not just from Vaughn and their posts, but I mean, look at this level test. We didn't even get through all of it. In fact, if you want, let's finish it up over here. Vamos a terminarlo. The next one. Ya no quieren ir, ¿no? I can think of two ways you can say this one. Ya no quieren ir, ¿no? I can give you a little beat. Just give it a little more alegría, Macarena. They no longer want to go. They no longer want to go, do they? Right? They no longer want to go. They don't want to go anymore is another way to say it, pero entonces también es do they. Acuérdate, don't en la primera parte, do en la segunda. Will en la primera parte, won't. Si estamos haciendo question tags. But something I can always recommend is just use the word right. He's coming, right? Pero si quieres hacerlo correctamente, he's coming, isn't he? So they no longer want to go. Do they? Ya no quieren ir. Or they don't want to go anymore. Do they? There you go, folks. All right, let's see the next one. Llevo una semana esperando. As I said, we're up in the ante. It's getting a little bit more difficult here. Llevo una semana esperando. I'm waiting a week? No. I've been a week waiting? Nope. I've been waiting for a week? Absolutely. Just be careful. Don't say during. I've heard a lot of people say, I've been waiting during a week. Nope. En este caso es for. I've been waiting for a week. Durante siglos? I've been waiting for ages. Remember, always play with it. When you find a translation, no te quedas solo con esa traducción. Play with it. I've been waiting for a week. I've been waiting for several months. I haven't waited long at all. You know, play with it so you feel comfortable with that structure, flipping it as we always do. Cuanto más te muevas, más dolerá. The more you move, the more it'll hurt. The more The more you move, the more it'll hurt. I think that one was pretty easy, even though I've seen a lot of mistakes there as well. Okay, lo haría si me explicases cómo. We're finishing up our level test here. Again, you can do this on your own time and look at the examples. But I'm not giving you the examples anymore. I know you guys can figure it out on your own. Lo haría si me explicases cómo. I would do it, or I'd do it, if you explained how. Okay? Or if you explained to me how. What we don't say is explain me. We don't say explain me how. It's if you explain to me how, or if you explained how to me. But we never put explain con la persona después, como en español. We say explícamelo. We don't say explain me. We say explain it to me. Very, very common mistake I've heard as a teacher. ¿Cuántas veces los alumnos me han dicho explain me? Y digo, you need a shrink or a psychologist or something. Necesitas un psicólogo. All right. Let's wrap up here. I think we've got 2 or 3 more questions. Hace mucho que no hablamos. This is a very common expression to know when you talk to an old friend and you're reuniting after a long time. Hace mucho que no hablamos. You can say long time no see, long time no speak, pero no es una de las opciones aquí. Es como yo lo diría. Hey, man, long time no speak. Long time no see. Long time no write. ¿Cuánto tiempo sin escribir? Well, we would say we haven't talked in a long time. Ahora, más natural, long time no speak. Sé que suena indio, but that's how we would say it. All right. Deberías haber hecho algo antes de irte. Ahora estamos en el pasado condicional. Okay. Deberías haber hecho algo antes de irte. You should have. Should have is should have, pero pronunciamos esta VE como of. You should have done something before leaving or before you left. You can say either one. You should have done something before you left. Repetimos sujeto. Or you should have done something before leaving. No hace falta repetir el sujeto. Another conditional. Si ganase más dinero aún, se lo gastaría todo. Contables, incontables. This is getting tricky here. Si ganase más dinero aún, se lo gastaría todo. If he made even more money, you can say earned, but it's mucho más fácil. Make money. Mama. To make money. If he made even more money, he would, lo contraemos, he'd spend it all. Okay? That's a tough one, guys. These conditionals, I know they're even difficult in Spanish. Yo no controlo hubiera, habría, hubiese. It's difficult. Okay, 2 more. ¿Por qué no debería haberme puesto tus zapatos? Superstars only here. ¿Por qué no? Now remember, if you take the test here on Vaughn's website, you'll have some options. I'm not giving you any options here because I know you guys are good. ¿Por qué no debería haberme puesto tus zapatos? Why shouldn't I have put on your shoes? Or put your shoes on. Ahí se puede negociar. But why shouldn't I have? ¿Por qué no debería haber hecho lo que sea? Why shouldn't I have called you at that time? Well, it's an ungodly hour. Il shouldn't have. Why shouldn't I have? Debería haber. Really difficult. And the last one is, oh, wait, look at that. The last one there is another listening exercise. So you only did about half of the Vaughn test, the level test. If you'd like to do the rest, remember to stop by our website. It is grupovaughn.com, and you can find out about all kinds of exciting things and get free content. But right now it's time to move on to a section we call Say What? Say what? That's right, amigos. That's right. It's our Say What soundbite, only on the show with no name. Here's where we're going to hear a famous person speaking, and you guys have to break it down. Tenéis de desglosarlo, romperlo en trozos. Make it easier to understand for everybody. And just remember, on this section, you're going to hear all different accents. You're going to hear all different situations. And this is where we are really trying to mimic the real world. To mimic is a way of saying imitar, to imitate or to mimic the real world, where you'll hear all kinds of accents. Just go to Penn Station. We're going to pretend we're in Penn Station in New York City, right? Because these are all the different accents you'll hear. You'll hear people with deep voices who barely open their mouths. You'll hear people who speak really fast and they open their mouth and they move their mouth a mile a minute. You'll hear the gamut. Todo, the gamut. All right, here it is, folks. This is today's Say What soundbite. As always, you're going to hear this audio clip 4 times. You're going to have 4 chances to write down word for word what you heard. After these first 2 listens, I just want your opinion in your best English possible. All right, here it is, folks. It's the Say What soundbite for the first time. Please write down what you hear.
Jesus, but if you two aren't the biggest pair of fuck-ups I've ever met in my entire life, how did you ever rob a bank? Hey, when you rob banks, did you have to look for your car then, too?
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely a female voice, I would say, or a young boy whose voice hasn't changed. No, I'm going to stick with the first one. Aferrarme a, I'm going to stick with the first thing I said. A female voice. What continent? Let's start with that. What continent do you think the person is from? Does it sound like a British person? I would say it doesn't sound like a Brit. She doesn't, because we've already identified that it's a female. I would say she doesn't sound British at all. En absoluto. I don't hear any British thing going on there. So then maybe we could say the United States. Doesn't have to be. There are other options, but could be the US of A, the United States of America. I don't know, but then what part? As we always said, the people in Philadelphia speak different than the people in Boston, than the people in fill in the blank. Rellena tu el hueco. All right, so let me play this for you a second time, as I said, and we'll discuss it further. Here it is. This is the Say What soundbite for the second time.
Jesus, but if you two aren't the biggest pair of fuck-ups I've ever met in my entire life, how did you ever rob a bank? Hey, when you rob banks, did you have to look for your car then, too?
All right, there you go, folks. That was the second listen. Hopefully, you guys will be able to fill in some of the blanks, rellenar algunos huecos ahí. There's definitely a vulgar word, a curse word, as we say. A curse word is una palabrota. A curse or a swear word. A dirty word. De hecho, mi cómico favorito, my favorite comedian ever, George Carlin, he said there are more words to describe dirty words than there are dirty words. And it's true. Lewd, lascivious, dirty words, right? So many different ways. You got to check him out. I think I've recommended him many, many times. He's my favorite comedian, and his name is George Carlin. All right, I don't see anybody taking a stab at it yet, but what we'll do is we'll move on to our spelling bee in the meantime, and if we get any comments on the Say What soundbite, we'll take a look. It's time for today's spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
That's right, folks. It is our spelling bee only on the show with no name. All right, let's take a look at today's spelling bee. I think these words will be easy, at least to recognize. And the first time, I'm merciless, I'm ruthless, despiadado. I don't care if you get it or not. And truthfully, sadly, there are many people who work in customer service who need to give you information who don't give a damn. Les importa un bledo. They don't give a damn if you follow along or not. They just want to get off the call and go on their lunch break. And you know my feeling towards that, but I'm just trying to prepare you for the reality that not everybody out there wants you to understand them or gives a damn if you understand them. British people. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to say that aloud. All right, here we go, folks. This is our spelling bee. As always, I'm going to give you a list of words. You'll get 6 words, and what you have to do is tell me what the words are and what they have in common. This is round 1. The first word is BLACKBERRY. The second one is FAX space MACHINE. The next one, GOOGLE space GLASS. The next one, ALTAVISTA. The fifth one, el quinto, no 5, sino fifth, MYSPACE. And the last one is BETAMAX. I told you I was going to go fast, but don't worry, we're going to go back over those in just a minute. We'll just give you guys a minute or two to see if anybody got these words on the first go. As always, I've given you 6 words. These words all have something in common. Today, I should have told you this. Some of them are capitalized and some are not. I won't be a stickler. No voy a ser rigorista con eso hoy, okay? Normally, if it's somebody's name, obviously we've got to capitalize it. But in this case, the second one is not capitalized. The rest are. But I didn't tell you that, so I don't expect you to know that. I don't expect you to just read my mind, all right? Although some of you are pretty damn good at reading my mind. It's true. A lot of times I'm about to mention something, and then you guys mention it here on the show in the chat room. How many times have I ignored a comment on purpose a propósito? Because I said, vamos a ir, pero todavía no. So that's great. That means we are on the same wavelength. Estamos en la misma onda. All right, let me check it out over here. Anybody got these on the first go? I know I went really fast, but that's what I always do on the first round of the spelling bee. All right, I'll give it another 20 seconds. Remember, you guys, even if you're not listening live, if you guys are listening to the podcast right now, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper and write these words down. I think this is a pace, un ritmo, a pace that everybody should be able to follow along with. Okay, this is round 2 of today's spelling bee. The first word is BLACKBERRY. Pause. See, I take a pause. I give you time to write it down. The second one is FAX space MACHINE. The next one is GOOGLE space GLASS. The next one is ALTAVISTA. The fifth one, the second to last, you can say penultimate. Yo te diría en Estados Unidos decimos más second to last, pero penultimate existe. He oído británicos usarlo más. Okay, let me clear my throat. The second to last one is MYSPACE. And the last one is BETAMAX. All right, those are your spelling bee words. And as I take a look at our group over here, I see a few people have figured it out. Nice job. And some of you got it before I finished that second round. So you know what that means? That means you got it, most of it on the first round. You were just checking your answers, or you were just missing a couple things. Either way, guys, fantastic. I can't believe it. Remember, one of the reasons I started doing this section was because I was flabbergasted, atónito, when I told students, can you spell your last name for me? And they were like, G, no J, no A, no I, no E, no O. I'm like, oh, I said, ay. We have a problem. And I get it. I get it. Because in Spanish, la I es nuestro I. Entonces hay gente que dice la A en vez de la I. I get it. I get it. But if you know the trouble, I mean, there are 5 letters that people have trouble with. You want me to tell you right now? And this way we get them right out of the way. G and J. Yeah, muchos alumnos, pues, this is 20 years of experience. G and J. J, DJ. Nadie se equivoca cuando es DJ. Pero cuando ven la J, dicen G a veces. So be careful with that one. Just think of DJ. Cuando lo ves la J, piensa DJ, porque sabes pronunciar la J ahí. The other one's A, E, I. La O no suele haber problema. A la hora de reconocerlo. No digo a la hora de pronunciarlo porque tiene muchos sonidos. As we know, the U in English can be community, public, it can be like a schwa sound. So the U in English can have many, many different vowel sounds. I'm just talking about recognizing the letters when you hear them. So that's A, E, I, always, siempre. Digo A y alguien pone una I o una E. Digo I, alguien pone una I o una I. So it can be very, very confusing. But if we focus on those problem areas, which we do with everything, why do you think we look at common mistakes and when we were looking at it before our pop quiz? What did I do? Along with giving you the correct answer, I said, oh, and be careful, because a lot of people say this, and it's wrong, incorrectly. So what I try and do, too, as your teacher, is I like to blaze that trail. We know the Trailblazers. It's a famous basketball team, the Blazers. Abrir ese camino. So you know, por ahí no se va, pero sí, por ahí tienes que ir. Y cuidado por ahí, porque parece que vas por ahí, pero tienes que ir por aquí. That's what I'm doing here. Just think of it like we're hikers. We're campers. And speaking of, there's an episode on camping. There's an episode of FYI. You also got a fresh new episode of FYI on nature today. You all know how much I love nature. More specifically, we're going to talk about bees. It just came out. They come out every Friday, 7 a.m. I don't know how long it takes to post and everything, but at 7 a.m., it should be live every Friday. Remember, wherever you listen to your Vaughn podcasts, go over and listen to For Your Inglés. The easiest way, go to the show. Once you find it, you'll see my mug. No mi taza. También, pero no. Estoy hablando de mi jeta, mi cara. You'll see my mug. It's like a blue thing, and it says For Your Inglés. And then just click follow and choose what topic you want to learn about. And you'll learn about an interesting topic while you learn English. It's interesting, too, because for me, it's a challenge. As you know, the show with no name is a variety show. You say magazine. We're all over the place. Okay, we're going to this section. Now we're back over here. Let's go over here. But we are frenetic. There's an order to it. Como va la expresión, me encanta esta expresión. There's a method to the madness. No, hay un método a la locura que hacemos aquí. Trust me. Well, you guys are learning English. You guys are not afraid of English anymore, right? That's what I noticed. You guys, a lot of times when you leave comments here on the show or you write to me on social media, you sound like native speakers. So just in case you're feeling like you're in a rut es en una situación atrapado, estancado, to be in a rut, R-U-T. If you ever feel like you're in a rut, you're not. You're kicking ass, right? To kick ass is arrasar, petarlo. And don't just take my word for it. I mean, I'm your teacher. I should know. But I'm sure if you ask your fellow classmates, let's say Chris says to Nihad, have you noticed that I've been making progress with this? Or I am sure I know the answer to that question. So I'm here not just to teach you, not just to guide you through your English adventure, but also to motivate you, to cheer you on. I'm your cheerleader as well. And you guys, I should say, you do your part. You're constantly cheering me on, animándome, and cheering me up. Sometimes, hey, it happens to all of us. Sometimes I sit down, I do the show, and I'm like, oh, there's not enough coffee in the world to wake me up today. And then I get here on the show, and you guys start throwing your magic my way. And before you know it, I'm wide awake. Esto es una canción de Katy Perry. I'm wide awake. I'm wide awake. Wide, piénsalo, los ojos están muy abiertos. I'm wide awake. No es que estoy despierta. Estoy despierta y espabilada. I'm wide awake. And I know you guys are. But right now, we have to take a quick commercial break. I can't believe it, guys. We are halfway through the show. When we come back, we'll take a look at this spelling bee, where we're going to look at technology that has become obsolete, or some would say a failure, at least now. Maybe they had their heyday, su apogeo, their heyday. Well, either way, we'll take a look at that and so much more when we come back. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. That's right, folks. Come on in. Come on in. I can't believe it's the third part of today's show. Holy cow. Vaca sagrada. Holy cow. Time flies when you're having fun. Thank you so much for being here and having fun along with me. Don't forget, after today's show, you've got Jules Linares and her program, Let's Get Random, followed by Rob and Andy's Lunchtime Show, and then Tosh Pasqua's Back to Basics. All that here today on Vaughn Radio and so much more going into the afternoon and the evening. The easiest way to stay up to date with everything we're doing here is to download the Vaughn Radio app and follow us on social media, and you won't miss a beat. Uso esta expresión mucho, que significa que deberíais saberlo. You guys should know it by now. You won't miss a beat. Y de hecho es una canción, it's a very catchy song, muy pegadiza, by the Kaiser Chiefs, excuse me. And it goes, take a look at the kids on the street because they never miss a beat, beat. All right, and speaking of never missing a beat, it's time for Homophones.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, because homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name, cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
Show with no name. That's right, amigos. It's Homophones only on the show with no name. And as always, here's where we look at words that may or may not sound the same. I'm going to have you tell me what the words are, and I want you to tell me if they sound exactly the same or not. We'll see if you're familiar with these words, and if not, well, we're learning some new words as well, which is great too. So if you know the words, excellent. Now you know exactly how to pronounce them after the section. If you weren't familiar with the words, now you know how to pronounce them, and now you're familiar with the words. And remember, if you can put them into context, if you can use them, if you say them aloud, if you don't say anything aloud throughout the whole show, this is the part where you should participate aloud, en voz alta. The first word is capa de suciedad. Okay, it's a layer of dirt or grime. Two different ways to say it. Capa de suciedad. It says here cochambre. I've never heard that one before. Cochambre. Roña. I've heard roña. Cochambre? Do you guys say that? I've heard this one. This is when we're talking about a person. So that first one is literal. It's, that layer of dirt. Okay. The second one is how we would refer to a person. Who is that? And I love this one in English and in Spanish. La escoria. Parasito. Eres una escoria. Eres un parasito. You can say parasite, but there's another word, escoria. También le decimos escoria humana o escoria de la tierra sería la traducción correcta. That's our first word. All right? The second word is a word that is used pretty often too. You'll see it in the headlines, and it's estafa, timo o fraude. It's a type of fraud. Vamos a pronunciar eso. No es fraud, es fraud. Aunque es parecido porque fraude es lo mismo con una E, pero se pronuncia fraud. Fraud. Fraudulent would be the adjective, right? So fraud. So it's a fraud. Estafa, timo, fraude. It's also the word. So timar, estafar. So there you go. There are your two homophones. The first word, capa de suciedad, escoria, si hablamos in the figurative sense of the word. And the second one, so you could say, if you said this sentence, ese tío No me va a timar. Él es una escoria. Put them into a sentence if you like, and then tell me if those two words sound exactly the same. Also, I've got to give you the Say What soundbite. This is the third listen. Please write down what you hear.
Jesus. But if you two aren't the biggest pair of fuck-ups I've ever met in my entire life, how did you ever rob a bank? Hey, when you rob banks, did you have to look for your car then, too?
All right, there you go, folks. You're going to hear that one more time a little bit later on in today's show. In fact, at the beginning of the fourth part, to be exact. We say the same thing, to be exact. All right, let's take a look over here in our chat room. We're looking at our homophones or not homophones. And I'm seeing that some people are saying yes. Most of you are saying no. I see a couple yeses in there. But the majority of you are saying that the word escoria and the word timo or timar do not sound the same. Well, there's one way that we can check this out, and it's just by saying them. I mean, everybody can listen with their ears. This is a good part, too, if you have headphones to listen, because you can hear things more clearly. Hey, that's a good trick for our Say What soundbite. All right. By the way, we have a winner. Today's Say What soundbite. It looks right to me. Please give it up for Monica. Nice. We'll take a look at that. That's after the third listen. Very good. Admirable. All right. What else do we have to do? We listen to the Say What soundbite. I've got to give you the homophones. The first word, scum. Scum. You are a scum. You are the scum of the earth. Now, that's the escoria, scum of the earth. But if we want to talk about la capa de mierda que se, there's a layer of scum on the bathtub or around the toilet. It's if you don't clean things correctly, there's this layer. Remember, not liar, mentiroso, layer, capa. So there's this layer that forms of dirt, and it's not good. Doesn't look good, and I'm sure it's full of bacteria as well. So that word is scum. Okay, scum. S-C-U-M. It rhymes with cum. Remember I told you, always look for words that rhyme with other words, and then, si yo sé decir cum, entonces sabes decir scum. Es añadir una S al principio, no al deletrearlo, al pronunciarlo. So the scum is going to come to my house. Y si queremos darle énfasis, the scum of the earth. Okay, people who do that, people who harm children, in my opinion, are the scum of the earth. All right, scum. También es como la muletilla. He's a scum. He's a scum. A total scum. All right, and the second word? Scam. Scam. You're a scum. I'm not going to fall for that scam. Okay? You're a scum. I'm not going to fall for that scam. Do they sound the same? No, they do not. And remember, scam is also the verb. You scammed me. It's a scam. Es un timo. You can put them together so you remember. Now, scam, what words rhyme with scam? Damn, maldito, right? Oh, that was a damn scam. Sounds exactly the same. Okay? They stole my ham. Mi jamón. Scam, damn, ham. We said scum, cum, rum, ron. That scum is going to come here and steal my rum. Esas tres palabras suenan igual. I want you guys to do that when you come across words that you're like, ooh, I'm not so sure I know how to pronounce this one. 100% put rhyming words. Words that if you were going to write a rap song or a poem, una poesía, well, you could put at the end of each sentence. And I'm telling you, it's something that we did when we were learning how to pronounce all these words as native speakers. So does it work? I guess so. We all know how to pronounce all the words. So I'm trying to apply also what worked for us. All right, let's go to our spelling bee. As I said, this is technology that is now basically obsolete. or that failed in some way. And I'm sure you guys can add your own to the list. The reason I chose this is because today in 2010, Apple announced the iPad. That's right. Un bloque de notas. You know how you say that? A pad. Oh, wow. A notepad. No me digas. Yeah, well, es lo que se supone que es. I have to admit, I've had 2 tablets or 2 iPads, and I haven't really used them too much. I also think because I get a big phone, I usually get the biggest phone there is, just because, well, to take videos and storage, almacenamiento, that I feel like it's just like one step up, and it's more comfortable for me to just carry around my phone. So I know, but I know a lot of people love these. They love iPads. They love tablets. And, a lot of people use them as their newspaper. They're used in the classroom. They're used in the cockpit. En la cabina de mando de aviones, they use iPads. It's what they call now, it's called a glass cockpit. Back in the day, the cockpits, everything was knobs and buttons. It worked on pressure, usaba presión, it used pneumatic pressure, air pressure, water pressure, all these kind of things. And everything was mechanic. And then, well, they decided to make everything more digital. And then it became known as the glass cockpit. So instead of things that, like things that were literally moving, it was glass, it was screens. And now, if you've ever seen recently, I don't think I've seen in the last 10 years a cockpit without at least 2 or 3 iPads. I don't know if they're the Apple brand. So I guess they're very, very useful. Again, I haven't found the use because if I'm going to do something like write a script, I'll do that on my computer. I have 2 screens here in front of me. And if I'm going to just post a video, I'll do so. I just haven't found that middle ground, that place to use it. But again, that's just me. Let's take a look at some of this technology. The first one is the BlackBerry, as it was commonly known, the crackberry. Yeah, porque era adictivo. Let's be honest. That thing, I used to have a BlackBerry. Before Apple came out, I was a diehard BlackBerry user. I had every one. Seriously. And I remember the little pings. I'm sure a lot of you guys used them. I knew a lot of people in the corporate world who used BlackBerries, including Obama. I know it was very difficult to get him to stop using his BlackBerry. And also because of something about encryption. I feel like it was safer or something. Maybe not. Maybe don't quote me on that. The next one, fax machine. I remember this one, man. When I lived in New York, this was, everybody, hey, they would even put on their business cards. They would put, home number, or they would put business number, cell phone number, and fax number. And I think it comes from the word facsimile, right? But we call it a fax machine. If you had to know, it's machine, it's machine, a fax machine. Okay. Do they, maybe they're still used in some industries, but you don't hear much about them. The next one is Google Glass, which they're very clear about this. It's not Google Glasses. It's Google Glass. Well, call it whatever you want. People just don't get it, or they weren't ready for it. Sometimes that happens too. Sometimes something comes out ahead of its time and people just aren't ready for it yet, or it comes out too late or too soon in the cycle. So Google Glass, I imagine too, with this kind of technology, this augmented reality, as they call it, AR, they're still working out a lot of the glitches. And to work out the glitches es resolver los problemillas técnicos, to work out the glitches. The next one, Alta Vista. Anybody here as old as I am? Alta Vista. This was pre-Google, guys. There was no Google yet. There was a search engine, okay, and it was called Alta Vista. And I remember that was the first one. If you wanted to find, I don't know if it was the first one. Don't quote me on that. I'm not an IT expert, but it was the first one I was familiar with, right? Alta Vista. That's when Yahoo was big as well. Remember Yahoo? America Online, a lo mejor no aquí, pero AOL. I mean, they bought Time Warner, or maybe Time Warner bought it. I don't remember, but they were huge. And now AOL, Yahoo, When you think of those names, you think of past brands. You think of Kodak, right? There's another one. So Alta Vista. The next one, MySpace. Hey, this was a great idea. It was awesome. A lot of people started using it. People got it. It was a chance for people to show their music, their personal photos. I had a MySpace, believe it or not. And I didn't use it very often, but I thought it was a cool idea that you could just have this little space, which was not really a website, but it was your own little space where you could kind of put your things and welcome people. And I thought it was a really good idea. Just like Friendster. Friendster was another one where you could meet friends online. Napster, remember that one? That one was shut down. Cerraron el Napster. But now there are other ways that people get their music illegally as well. So MySpace, and another one, the last one on our list, Betamax. And I remember in the States, you either had VHS or Beta. Obviously, I think Beta was more popular here. We don't call it Betamax, we call it Beta. I think Beta was more popular here, and VHS was more popular in the States. Let's see, any other ones? The Palm Pilot. I had one of those too. This was the first smartphone, but it wasn't a phone. Le faltaba ser teléfono, but it had maps, it had email in it. You guys remember the Palm Pilot? It was a good name too, because it fit in the palm of your hand. What else do we got here? Netscape. That was a navigator. Another one, Netscape, just like Alta Vista, was very popular. Google Glass, we just looked at. What about Motorola? Motorola. I mean, they were huge. Motorola, Nokia. These were companies that were huge when phones were just phones. And then came the smartphone revolution, and it changed the game. And now all of a sudden, people didn't just want a good antenna. People wanted a good camera. They wanted slim. They wanted something that looked nice too. It became about the look of it. Did it fit in your pocket? You know, all the different things it could do. The next one, Segways. Segways. This wasn't on our list, but I'm just going over some technology that's kind of become obsolete. Okay, Segways, if you're going to do a tour around Madrid, but I highly recommend you walk around Madrid, you know. Another one, MapQuest. Did you guys have that one? MapQuest was our Google Maps before there was Google Maps. And one of my favorite ones, which I think it still exists, but it'll never be the same, and it's a lesson in communication. This one was Foursquare, the one where you could check into different places and leave a comment. I think this was one of the coolest social media platforms ever invented, but they changed the name. Sometimes, you know, we got to go by that philosophy. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Si no está roto, no lo arregles. Folks, it's time for today's Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie, only on the show with no name. And I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I can't believe how fast it's flying by. Okay, it is Friday, and that happens. But, man, really, really flying by. And again, thanks to you guys. Here's today's Name That Movie. Let's see if you guys can figure out what movie it is. If not, again, don't worry. The idea is to soak all the English out of it that we can get. All right, here it is. A man blinded by toxic waste, which also enhanced his remaining senses, fights crime as an acrobatic martial arts superhero. Whoa. So a man blinded, he became blind, right? By toxic waste, residuos tóxicos, toxic waste, which also enhanced. To enhance is to make better. Alzar en alzar. Espera. I know I've seen this word before, but I don't exactly have it yet. Aumentar, realzar. That was the one I was looking for. Aumentar, mejorar would be the word we're looking for. To enhance. We can do it on a photo. speaking of smartphones, to enhance a photo, mejorarlo de un clic automáticamente. So, which also enhanced his remaining senses, que aumentó sus otros sentidos, his sense of hearing. Okay, so he's blind, but his sense of hearing, his sense of smell, his sense of taste, and his sense of touch are all better. Ahí tienes los 5 sentidos. As he fights crime, lucha contra el crimen as an acrobatic martial arts superhero. Artes marciales, martial arts, and a superhero. I think you know what it is. All right, the movie is Daredevil, starring Ben Affleck, and we can learn from the title of the movie, a daredevil es alguien temerario, right? A reckless person. Dare es atrever, devil, demonio. So if you're a daredevil, you're pretty daring, atrevido. Let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen for you over here in this classic. It came out in 2003, and I remember when I was living in New York City, I remember walking down the street one night after work, and they were filming a movie. Very normal. They're always filming movies over there. And I remember seeing the big lights and the trailers. And I said, what movie are they filming? And he said, Daredevil. So there you go. I was there without being there. But when you're living in New York, you're there. You're in the middle of it all, in todo el meollo. All right, let's take a look. Matt Murdock says, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Bendígame. Bless me, Father, Padre, for I have sinned, he pecado. It's been a week since my last. And then the father cuts him off, le interrumpe, and he says, what the hell are you playing at, Matt? Mira el padre, ¿qué demonios estás jugando? Right? What the hell are you playing at, Matt? You didn't come here for forgiveness. No veniste aquí a que te perdonen. Remember, to forgive, lo conocemos de Metallica, si sois fans, the unforgiven, right? So you didn't come here for forgiveness. You came for permission. And I can't give you that. No te puedo dar eso. Permiso. I can't give that to you. I can't give you that. Los dos son correctos. Matt says, justice isn't a sin, Father. La justicia no es pecado, Padre. And Father says, no, but vengeance is. Venganza. Vengeance is. The word is vengeful. Vengativos, vengeful. But vengeance is. You see it every day on the street. Violence begets more violence. And the word beget is crear, possibly. Let's see. Engendrar, procrear. Yeah, crear, right? So violence begets more violence. Is that how you want to live your life? Live, vivir, life, la vida. Is that how you want to live your life? A lawyer during the day, un abogado durante el día, and then judge and jury at night? Is that what you want? Y judge and jury es, ¿qué te crees? ¿El juez del mundo? What are you, judge and jury ahora? Eres el juez y el juzgado. It's a great expression, judge and jury. Alguien que cree que puede juzgar sobre todo el mundo. Twitter, for example. And then Matt Murdock says somebody has to do something. Alguien tiene que hacer algo. And Father Everett says, but why you? ¿Y por qué tú? And Matt Murdock says, because I can, porque puedo. Because I'm not afraid, porque no tengo miedo. We looked at that song, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. Father Everett then says, well, I'm afraid for you. Yo tengo miedo por ti, he says. Look, a man without fear, un hombre sin miedo. A man without fear is a man without hope. The word hope, siendo esperanza. We're learning some nice religious words here, right? Justice, hope, bless, sin, right? Vengeance. Hey, these are all biblical words. So a man without fear is a man without hope. May God have mercy on you. Que Dios tenga piedad en ti. May God have mercy on you for your sins and grant you, concederte, darte. Una subvención is a grant. The government granted me a grant. That's a good double trouble, by the way. So may God have mercy on you for your sins and grant you everlasting life, vida eterna. And he says, amen. And there you can say amen or amen. It's like hallelujah and alleluia. Hey, tomato, tomato, either, neither, neither. Folks, we have to go to our third commercial break. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we've got so much to do. We've got Double Trouble, Name That Lyric. We've got to listen to our Say What soundbite, jokes, and so much more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Making this a blast. Un buen rato. Divertidísimo. A blast. I'm having a blast. I hope you're having a blast. And don't forget, you can have a blast with Jules Linares up next with her awesome show, Let's Get Random. Just remember, download the free app and you won't miss any episodes of all your favorite shows here on Vaughn Radio. And remember, if you're not following us on social media, do it now, folks. And just remember, we've got all kinds of things available out there. We've got online courses. We've got one-to-one courses. We've got Disney courses with for the kids on the weekends. And I think one of our awesome, if I'm still trying to do it myself to get, I'd love to go there and work. And I just think it would be an amazing experience. And what am I referring to? Vaughntown. Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, folks. If you want information about Vaughntown or about anything else, you can go to grupovaughn.com. You can also contact us on social media or give us a call, 911-385831. Again, 911-385831. Folks, it's time for Double Trouble. Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. That's right, folks. It's time for Double Trouble. This is a translation where you hear the same, well, you don't hear the same word twice. You have to use the same word twice. So it makes it a little more challenging because I guess you could find another way to translate it and it would be correct. But here we add a little twist. A little twist es un toque especial. And this is just a chance to see words that have double, triple, quadruple meanings. We've already looked at a couple on today's show. We look at a lot in every show. We look at homophones, we look at double troubles, and then we look at jokes, which are usually either homophones or double troubles. So throughout the show, we're constantly playing with words, and I urge you guys to do the same on your own. Always play with words. Always see how far you can take it. What's the problem? You make up a joke, you come up with a joke, it's not funny. Do you know that's my life story? My wife should just walk around with a sound effect like this. But I'm not going to stop trying. But it's not time for your joking, it's time for Double Trouble. Here it is, folks. Let's see if you can figure it out. Dijiste que estarías al ladito, pero llevo toda la mañana intentando conectar o contactar contigo. ¿Ok? Dijiste que estarías al ladito, literalmente al alcance. Pero llevo toda la mañana intentando conectar o contactar contigo. Okay, I'm thinking about a telephone there. You can, I mean, it can be anyway. It can be through email. It can be WhatsApp as well. Or it could just be an old-fashioned telephone, which I'm looking for the effect. I thought I had a telephone effect. I guess I don't have one. Oh, yes, I do. The phone's ringing. Pick it up. Are you going to pick it up or do you want me to pick it up? Well, it's not for me. You can ask them. Ask them. Say, who is it? This is quien sea speaking. I love that old school ring over there. So, dijiste que estarías al ladito, pero llevo toda la mañana intentando conectar conectar contigo. All right, you have to use the same word twice. Also, I'm going to give you guys today's Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time. Please write down what you hear.
Jesus. But if you two aren't the biggest pair of fuck-ups I've ever met in my entire life, how did you ever rob a bank? Hey, when you rob banks, did you have to look for your car then, too?
All right, there you go, folks. Sounds like there's some sarcasm in this person's voice. Like they're not being very sincere. Like they're taking the piss, as my British friends say. She's pulling someone's chain. She's pulling someone's leg. Another way to say it, tomándole el pelo, vacilándole. Good expression to know if you didn't know it. All right. So, as I said, we've already got a winner, but if you guys want to participate, you can still participate. And let's see if anybody has figured out today's double trouble. I've got dijiste que estarías al ladito, pero llevo toda la mañana intentando contactar contigo. And it's really funny because right before we came into this section here today, I almost used this word. And I caught myself, me pillé, and I said, shit, calm down. You're going to see it now in double trouble. So I had to bite my tongue, morderme la lengua. I have to do it a lot here. So, dijiste que estarías al ladito. You said you would be. Pero este you would be es difícil decirlo. Entonces, como vimos antes, cuando tenemos el would, lo contraemos. You'd be. She'd be. You told me we'd be there. You told me they'd be there. Practícalo con el apóstrofe de porque es más natural. Y te digo la verdad, muchas veces ni decimos la de. I told you you'd be there. You'd be there. You'd be there. En mi cabeza lo he dicho, pero no digo you'd be there. Right? No tomo la pausa. Pero remember, I don't know why. I had so many students, especially when I first started teaching, saying, oh, my teacher said, don't ever contract. I go, what is your teacher? A parent? A scolding parent? Un padre que echa broncas? Because when you do not contract, you sound like you are speaking to someone like they are a child, or you're condescending, or you are reprimanding them. So do not do that. I will not have that in my classroom. See the difference? If I say, I won't have that in my classroom, it's mucho más suave, menos regañoso. So when I heard that, I'm telling you, my mind was literally blown. Yeah, totally. I said, what? Are you kidding? We are always using contractions constantly in speech. One thing is written, but they were telling me, no, my teacher says I have to say, do not call me. I would never say, I'd say, don't call, unless I'm telling somebody, por cojones, por décima vez, do not call me. ¿Ves la diferencia? Don't call me. Don't call me tomorrow. No me llames mañana. I'm busy. But if I say, do not call me, es como absolutamente bajo ningún concepto me llames. So, should you contract? Depends what you want to sound like. I recommend you always do. So, I'd. So, you said you'd be, you'd is you would. Que no es you will, it's you would. Okay? You said you'd be within arm's reach or in arm's reach. It sounds more natural with within, dentro de. Nice preposition there. It's poetic. You said you'd be within arm's reach. O sea, al ladito, ¿no? Puede ser, no tiene que ser literalmente, pero al lado, cerca, al alcance. That's why I gave you al alcance as a clue, a little clue there. So dijiste que estarías al ladito, al alcance, a mi alcance. You said you'd be within arm's reach. Pero esta frase apúntatela porque todos hemos estado en esta situación, que alguien no te coge el teléfono, no te contesta y necesitas información. Llevo toda la mañana intentando conectar / contactar contigo. I've been trying to reach you all morning. Esa palabra casi lo usé antes. I said, you can reach us at, y lo cambié a you can call us at. Pero reach es bueno porque reach incluye todo. I can't reach you, man. I sent you a couple messages. You're impossible to reach. Okay? So this is not just by phone. And most of the communication we do these days is not by phone. So instead of learning call, I would just put in the word reach y vale para todo. Que es literalmente alcanzar a alguien. You're a hard guy to reach. Difícil contactar contigo. I've been trying to reach you all morning. And another way we say it too, another usage is reach out to me next week. Dime algo, contacta conmigo. Reach out to me next week. It's a really cool song too. Reach out, I'll be there to give you all the loving you need. And remember, reach is not pronounced the same as rich. Reach, alcanzar, contactar, and rich. Do you know how to make the sound? ¿Qué dices? Then you know how to say rich. It's a short, not I, sino Es como si vas a hacer una pero no abres la boca del todo. I don't know. I'm trying to get my students to make that sound, because if you can make that sound, you can really improve your pronunciation of words such as sheet and shit, or beach and bitch. And you can imagine that there are a lot of funny anecdotes, even jokes, that come from mixing up those two words. And speaking of jokes, it's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're joking. You're joking, the part of the show where I tell you the greatest joke you're ever going to hear in your life. And obviously, I'm joking. It's probably going to be the worst joke you've heard in a long time, but hopefully you'll learn some English. If you get the joke, you can explain it to us. Remember, explain it as clearly as possible. Don't just say, esto es esto. You got to tell us both meanings. Don't assume we know anything. You know what we say in English? If you assume, you make an ass of you and me. Assume como se escribe. You make an ass of you, la U es tú, you, and me. Haces un tonto de tú y de yo. Si asumes algo. Well, I assumed you didn't want one. Well, I wanted one. Pues yo sí que quería. Y ahí decimos, don't assume. Y yo me acuerdo una profesora nos lo... And I said, I assumed we didn't have a test today. She goes, well, I'm going to tell you. Let's look at the word assume. Y puso en la pizarra on the blackboard, assume. And she split the word between the U and the S and then the U and the M. And she put slashes there. And she put, when you assume, you make an, and she didn't say the word because it's not a word you're supposed to say in school. You make a of you and me. I'll say, so don't assume. All right, here's today's joke, my amigos. Have you heard of the superhero Windman? Oh, yeah, Windman. Wind. What is this word? Wind, viento. Also, there's another word that's written like that, wind, dar cuerda. It's like tear and tear. They're spelt the same. But no, we're referring to wind over here. So have you heard of the superhero Windman? I don't know. I've heard of him, but apparently he has blown everybody away. Windman? He's blown everybody away. No? Well, the wind blows, sopla el viento, right? The wind blows. So to blow away es llevárselo, como con el viento, right? So the superhero's name is Windman, and apparently everybody was blown away. Se les llevó el viento. Okay, well, it's got to mean something else. Well, also, if something blows you away, it impresses you. Te impresiona del todo. Meterse en el bolsillo. There's a song from the musical Hamilton. You can blow them all away. Beautiful song. Blow them all away. No me acuerdo que si se llama así la canción, but puedes asombrar, deslumbrar a todos. So do you get it now? Llevárselos con el viento o deslumbrarles. Windman. He blew everybody away. Okay. Blow, blew, blown. Irregular verb. Okay, I got another one for you since you love that one so much. Where does Spider-Man hang out in his spare time? ¿Dónde queda Spider-Man, or Spiderman, as you say, en su tiempo libre, his spare time? Where does Spider-Man hang out in his spare time? On the World Wide Web. No. Oh, come on. That's an easy one. Where does Spider-Man hang out on the World Wide Web? www, World Wide Web, 3 Ws. A web es telearaña, también es red, también es internet. You can find me on the web. Okay. All right. Well, that was an easy one. I imagine everybody got that one. Okay, I got one more for you. One more, and then we've got to move on because we've got some birthdays to celebrate. Where do superheroes usually flock to? What city? Okay, what city do superheroes flock to? And a flock is un grupo de pájaros, but also flock is moverse en masa. De hecho, la expresión birds of a feather flock together. Dios los cría y ellos se juntan. Birds of a feather. Good words that come from these. So where do superheroes usually flock to? What city? Obviously, Cape Town. Cape Town. Cape Town, Ciudad del Cabo. Well, cape es una capa también en inglés. So a cape, the Cape of Good Hope, for example, when we're talking about geography. But Superman has a cape. Batman has a cape. You get it? Where do superheroes flock to? Cape Town? All right, guys, it's time for famous birthday trivia.
One, two, three. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays. Birthdays for me. Famous birthdays. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
right. That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays, and I can't believe how fast today's show has flown by. We have about seven minutes or so, and we're gonna make every second count. So great job, by the way. Yeah, hey, I give credit where credit is due. Se da mérito donde se debe. We give credit where credit is due, but we're not done yet. So let's see if you can figure out today's famous birthdays. The first birthday boy was born in 1968. He's one of my favorite singers because, well, the guy's got a vocal range of 6 octaves. Octavios? How do you say an octave in music? Octave. Vamos a ver. Octava. Un octavio parecido. Can you believe, like, I don't know if you know about singing, 6 octaves. And he's very famous for being the lead singer of the group Faith No More. I remember when I went to high school, I wore out this cassette tape, lo desgasté, from just playing it over and over and over and over. I love Faith No More. Have you guys heard of Faith No More? It's not for the faint of heart. No es para flojos. It's hardcore. It's pretty hardcore stuff. Faith No More. Well, this guy's the lead singer. Number 2, this person was born in 1957, an American illustrator, director, producer, and screenwriter, known for his graphic novels, Daredevil. Hey, wait, Osado, that was today's Name That Movie. Also, Daredevil Born Again, The Dark Knight Returns, the Batman series, Year One, Sin City, and 300, the epic war drama. Well, drama, it's an epic film, 300. So if you know about comics, then you know about this guy. He is in the pantheon of comics. And last but not least, she was born in 1964, an American actress known for her roles in The Godfather Part 3 in 1990, Single White Female in 1992, Singles, que es, creo, la mejor banda sonora de la historia. Singles, escúchatela. If you like grunge music, it was where I first heard Smashing Pumpkins, Screaming Trees, a lot of my favorite grunge bands. So Singles, the movie was but the soundtrack, it will blow you away, para usar el vocabulario de antes. Singles, Point of No Return. She was also in Jackie Brown, and she is the daughter of Peter Fonda, the niece, sobrina of Jane Fonda, and the granddaughter of Henry Fonda. So she comes from a long line of actors. All right, we've got our famous birthdays. Number 1, Mike Patton. Mike Patton from Faith No More. Number 2, Frank Miller. And number 3, Bridget Fonda. Not Jane Fonda, but Bridget, her niece. Remember, nephew, sobrino, niece, sobrina. And this is her in the movie Jackie Brown. She's talking to Robert De Niro's character, who's a thug, un matón. He's a thug, T-H-U-G, un criminal. And this was a movie, Jackie Brown, if you remember, came out in 1997, Quentin Tarantino. And they're coming out of the mall. Están saliendo del centro comercial. And he can't find his car. Él no encuentra su coche. And she says, Jesus, but if you are the biggest pair of fuck-ups I've ever met in my entire life, eres la pareja de if you're a fuck-up, un loser total, okay? So eres sois el par de losers totales más grandes que he visto en mi vida, que he conocido, that I've ever met in my entire life. How did you ever rob a bank? ¿Cómo conseguiste robar un banco? Hey, when you rob banks, did you have to look for your car then too? ¿Tenías que buscar el coche en ese momento también? So there you go, folks. This is from Jackie Brown. Really good movie. And this is a scene between Bridget Fonda and Robert De Niro. Here it is.
Jesus. But if you two aren't the biggest pair of fuck-ups I've ever met in my entire life, how did you ever rob a bank? Hey, when you rob banks, did you have to look for your car then too?
All right, there you go, folks. Bridget Fonda. And now it's time for today's Name That Lyric.
No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It is Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And I'm going to give you the song. I love this song. I love this group. It's Faith No More. And this is a song. What's the name of the song? I just forgot the name of the song here. Which one is it? Faith No More. I can't remember which one I chose, guys. Back and I know how to sing it. I can't remember the name. It's not The Real Thing. It's not Epic. Falling to Pieces. Ahí está. I love them all. I wasn't lying there. This is Falling to Pieces by birthday boy Mike Patton and his group Faith No More. And I'm going to dedicate this song to all of you guys because, okay, no nos estamos derrumbando, but it's a cool song. Falling to Pieces. And it goes, back and forth, I sway with the wind. Back and forth, de un lado para otro. I sway, me voy meciendo with the wind. Resolution slips away again. Ahí va mi resolución. No veo, claro, se me escapa. It slips away right through my fingers. Se me escapa por los dedos. Through my fingers, right back into my heart. In mi corazón, where it's out of reach, fuera de mi alcance, and it's in the dark. If you haven't heard this group, if you haven't heard this song, give them a listen. This is Falling to Pieces by Faith No More. Thank you so much for being here today and every day. You guys rock. I have a lot of faith in you and your English. Here we go. Ready? Huh. I don't know if we can keep up. He raps. He's fast. Here we go. Back and forth, I sway with the wind. Resolution slips away again.